Hello and welcome to Sketch Together. My name is Pablo Stanley, and today we're going to do a video walkthrough of an illustration of Santa Claus using Sketch app. So join me and let's do this together. Okay guys, so first let's review what we're going to design. We're going to be designing a little Santa, and you can see that there's a lot of different simple shapes that once they're put together, we will create a little happy Santa, just circles and triangles and probably rounded rectangles. So we got it here. I already created a new page here. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I have a new page, and here I already created an artboard, and the artboard is 800 by 600, just the size of Dribbble. So let's start with the first thing. First thing, let's add a background color to it. I already added a background color, but just a little blue, just around there, just a nice blue, and perfect. Now that we have that, I can start adding shapes. The first thing is I'm going to create a circle with the oval tool, and just to make it a perfect circle, just press Shift and start dragging. So now that I have it here, I'm going to change the color to white, and I'm going to start duplicating the circle with Alt Shift and then dragging around there. And Command D, Command D, Command D, Command D, Command D, 3, 6, 7. Let's use 7 shapes. Now that we have it, I'm going to group it and align it to the center of my artboard. There you go. Just so it's nice and centered. There you go. Now let's draw the hat. And the hat is just a simple triangle. Obviously, probably you're more creative than me and you'll create something that is way better than this. For me, just like using simple shapes, and I just add a triangle. Just turning this triangle red, a nice red. Just put it here in the document's color just in case I want to use it later. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to use it, but just in case. I have it here. And now we need the little ball on top of the hat. And for that, we could have just used the circle, but that's not enough. We want more. And to make it a little bit more fluffy, I'm going to actually select a rectangle. And I'm going to add corner radius to the rectangle. I'm going to turn it white all the way there. And then we're going to do this really cool trick. I'm going to duplicate this rectangle. And then I'm going to transform it, rotate it 45 degrees. Now I'm going to duplicate it again, and I'm going to add 45 degrees, so I can add plus 45. And then I have these two, which is 90. And I'm going to duplicate these two that I just created. Command D. And then I'm going to flip them. Actually, we don't need the one in the middle. We only needed this one. So now we have all these shapes, and all these shapes create a really fluffy ball on top of our hat. I'm going to group this, and again, I'm going to align it to the center. It's already aligned, it's perfect. And now we're going to start drawing the face and the beard. And this is the part that I think is a little bit trickier. It's a little bit more tricky. So I'm going to start adding the beard. I'm going to align it to the center, always align to the center, just so it's nice and centered. And the first thing, I'm going to select these two vectors. That way I'm only adding the corner radius to these vectors, and these stay the same. This is stay normal. I'm going to do all the way up to 200. There you go. And I'm going to move it to the back. There you go. Now we have our beard. I'm going to leave it at gray right now, so I can just see the difference between this and this. And then I'm going to start adding the shape of the face. And this is going to be a little bit tricky, but just bear with me. Be with me a little bit. I'm going to change the color of this. Just the color of skin. There you go. I'm going to add corner radius to it, and I'm going to be using different shapes to create the face. And I'm going to create the first one, and this is just a rounded rectangle. I'm going to duplicate it here, and I'm going to duplicate another one over here. Just as perfectly aligned. And then I'm going to move this a little bit lower. That way, the shape of the beard is going to go here, and then it's going to go up, and then here. That way, we have the nose here, and we have the mouth here, and this is the shape of the actual face. So it doesn't look very obvious right now, but it's going to look obvious once we actually put it together. So bear with me, be with me just for a second. So I'm going to move this a little bit lower, and then I'm going to add a rectangle here just for the face around there. And these two guys, I'm going to make them a little bit bigger. I know you're probably saying, like, what the hell is going on? And it's going to make sense in just a little bit. So here, these are going to be the cheeks. This is going to be the mouth, and this is going to be the face. So the first thing, I'm going to actually select these 3 layers. these three guys here, and I'm going to go to combine and union. There you go. Now they're one single shape. I'm going to select the same color as this. And then this guy, I'm going to put it on top. I'm going to move it here on the layers, and then I'm going to combine it with these guys, but instead of union, I'm going to say subtract. And now it created something weird there. Sometimes you have to play around with these with these things until you get it right. Oh man, there you go. Around there. Around there. It's not perfect, but it's just that sometimes the sketch is like this. It's not their combined tools are not perfect, but you get the idea. It's around there. I'm going to move it below the little balls. So around there, I'm pretty sure now you're getting what's going on, right? I'm going to turn this white. There you go. So now this is the actual face. Looks a little bit weird, right? Let's actually turn this a little bit bigger, just so it makes more sense. And the cool thing here is if I wanted to start playing around with the shapes, I can always go to my combine shape and play around with the shapes. For now, I'm going to leave it as it is right now. I like where it is. It could be a little bit better here, but I'm going to leave it as it is right now. And one cool trick is right now, all these are pretty cool, just shapes that are independent that turn into one combined shape, and I can change the how they blend, how they combine here. I can just press here, and instead of subtract, I can try union, or I can say difference, which is not what I want, but I want to be actually subtract. That way, it cuts the other shapes below it because these ones are union. So now that I have my combined shape, I can actually go to layer, path, and actually flatten this path. And now it's only just one shape, and I can just turn this shape a little bit like this. Yes, so it looks a little bit better. There you go. And I just transforming the combined shapes. And if I wanted to, I could probably even get a little bit better with my actual points here. So if I wanted to be a perfectionist, I could totally do that now. And oops, that's not what I wanted. There you go. So you get the idea. There you go. Now it looks a little bit better. Now, actually, I probably don't want these to show there. I'm going to move all these a little bit higher. There you go. It's a little bit messy here. Going to leave this, and this. We don't need all these points. We do need that. And there you go. Now it's the face is below this guy. And now we can start adding our eyes. Now that we add eyes, it's going to start looking a little bit better too. So I'm going to select the same color and just going to turn it a little bit darker. There you go. I'm going to duplicate this circle around there. Then I'm going to duplicate it over here, just align it to the center. And also I want to align to the center of this guy too, right? All of these layers need to be aligned to the center. This is going to be the smile, the little mouth. And then obviously we don't want it, right now it looks a little bit surprised, right? So I'm going to use the scissors and I'm going to cut these pads that I don't need. And now it's a little smile. There you go. It's looking a little bit weird. That's because we're missing the little nose for it. So for that, I'm just going to use a rectangle. Just a rectangle, and I'm going to go corner radius around there. And I'm going to align it, as always, align it to the center of my artboard. And I'm going to probably turn it a little bit reddish, just a little bit reddish, because it's Santa is cold. I'm going to put this on the top. There you go, moving it to the top. There you go. Now it's starting to look good, right? Yeah, now finally it's starting to look good. I'm going to make the beard a little bit bigger around there. Probably these could be actually smaller. I feel like these could be smaller around there. And now they're smaller, I can actually move them around there, and I'm going to select all these layers, and I'm going to distribute horizontally. It says distribute unevenly. It's okay. Don't worry about that. There you go. It's starting to look good, right? I really like this. Now let's add a couple of ears. So I'm going to use my oval tool. I'm going to put it around there. I'm going to copy the color of the skin, and I'm going to duplicate this guy all the way here. I'm going to group it. Now that it's grouped, I'm going to align it to the center of the artboard and put it all the way to the back. There you go. Look at that. It's starting to look like a happy Santa. I can start. I'm actually going to make the hat a little bit bigger, and probably around there. There you go. Now it looks like the head is inside the hat. There you go. So probably we want to add some rose cheeks to it. And for that, it's going to be a little cool trick that I like to add to my illustrations, just It's a little oval. And then also I'm going to use the same red. Let's use the same red. See? I told you that adding this color to our document colors was going to be good. Now this red, I'm going to turn the opacity all the way to 40%. And to 40%, then I'm going to rotate it negatively around there. And I can put them around here. There you go. No. I'm actually going to put it around there. There you go. And then I'm going to move it over here. I'm going to flip it horizontally. I'm going to select these two. Now that they're selected, I'm going to align it to the artboard. Always align to the artboard. Now these two, it looks weird, right? It's on top of the beer. You don't want that. So what you can do is just select the face and then right-click and say mask. Boom. Okay, it went to the top, but we can move this. I'm going to move it back below the eyes. There you go. Perfect. Look at that. Our Santa's looking good. And now I think our Santa is pretty much finished. We can start adding shadows if we want, or we can get pretty creative with this. Something that I really like to do, let me show you this really cool trick. Let's add like an explosion of snow around Santa. So I'm going to draw a circle, just a white circle. This is going to be my first snowflake. And then now that I have one shape, I'm going to go to Layer, Paths, and then rotate copies. This is a pretty cool effect. I'm going to say, number of copies 6, and I'm going to make it really big, just to start moving around and see how it rotates the copies perfectly around. So once I'm happy with this, I can press enter, and now it turned this into one shape. See over here, all these paths are into one shape. I'm going to align it to the center, as always. Align to the center, probably I want to rotate it because I have this circle over here. So I'm going to rotate it probably 25 degrees, I suppose. Yeah, 25 degrees. That's what we need. Probably is less. I don't know. It's looking good. Going to another trick that you want to do is layer, and then paths, and then flatten the path again, and that way it's just that now you can transform it here. My transform tools are here. Okay, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, and I'm going to duplicate this guy too. Keep duplicating stuff, right? Duplicate it, and then I'm going to rotate this probably minus 10 pixels. There you go, minus 10 degrees, sorry. And then I'm going to rotate this, turn the opacity down to probably 50%. Now that it's there, I actually can go inside the shape and select all the paths inside the shape, all these, not the shape, but the paths inside the shape. And then here, I'm going to turn them probably, let's say that it's probably 20 and 20. Let's try that, 20 and 20. It's a little bit smaller. Let's try, I'm going to put it just like that, and then I'm going to start adding it. Yeah, 18. I like 18. So there you go. There you have it. Something that we could do is, for example, probably add a little bit of a shadow to this. Let me select just the Santa. I'm going to group this, and we can add a shadow, just a nice shadow, probably a blur shadow around 20 pixels. 20 pixels is nice. I don't know, sometimes Sketch does that. You start adding blur and it doesn't show up. It just disappears. So, and the alphas, I like to turn it really subtle. It's just there, you know, you can barely see it, and just gives you the appearance of like it's like a paper floating a little bit on top of a flat surface. There you go. So we have our little Santa. I'm actually also going to create an animation of this, and this is going to be in a different video. So make sure to subscribe to my channel, and that way you get also notified when I upload the animation of this little Santa. So cool. Leave your questions on the comments, and I'm also download the source file. All these files are on the description, and you can play around with it too if you get stuck or anything. Cool. Thank you. Hope you like this, and bye-bye.